which kind of comes to the book, which is this admission to this phrase of "I don't know," and how maybe we need to embrace that a little bit more. Honestly, Lawrence, like the evolution of this show was me saying that same thing. Yeah. Actually, usually I put myself in this room with people I don't agree with. Mm-hmm. I've had people I fundamentally disagree with everything they said. Sometimes I can barely sit in the seat. Yeah. But I found sometimes 2 years later that I agree with them now. Yeah. And so it was allowing that open mind to say, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Tell your ego to shut up for a bit, listen to someone, and actually let it soak in as opposed to the headline of what they are. And so this book, The Known Unknowns, Unresolved Mysteries of the Cosmos, you're trying to get people to embrace this concept of not knowing and then opening the mind to discover.
Well, that's how it's talked about, it uses the title, by the way, The Known Unknowns in the UK, not in the US.
I know, I heard it. Tell us why. I love this
yeah, because it's a quote from Donald Rumsfeld, which it was a really intelligent thing he said. I'm not a fan of Donald Rumsfeld, let me make it clear. But he talked about, the known unknowns in terms of the Iraq War. Yeah. There's the things and then the known knowns are things we know. The known unknowns are things we know we don't know, and the unknown unknowns, which are things we don't know. Now, as a scientist, by the way, the most interesting thing is the unknown unknowns. Right. But if I want to write a book on that, it'd be a very short book. Right. But what we can say is we know what we don't know, which is fascinating because that's what drives scientists. That's what drives scholars. That's what drives many people. So saying I don't know recognizes what remains to be known and encourages you to learn about it. Encouraged me as a young man was when I finally realized that not everything was known in science. I talk about that when Richard Feynman wrote a book, The Character of Physical Law, when I finally realized, gee, it's not all known. It wasn't all done 200 years ago by dead white men. It was, there's a lot left to learn. And that should spur us all on. And I try to make my books be different. It's easy to write the same book over and over again. And by the way, I wrote 12 of them, not 10, but it's okay. It's okay. But anyway.
And you open this with a quote by Richard Feynman, which starts off with him saying, I don't feel frightened at not knowing things. He actually taught my dad freshman physics at Caltech in 1961 when he did a guest lecture. That's actually being recorded. And so my dad said he used to kind of hang out with all the freshmen, and it sounded really epic.
He was, I met Feynman when I was a student, and it was epic, yeah.
Okay.
And he's a role model in many ways. Although I'm no Richard Feynman, I can say that.
Why? Why do you look up to Richard Feynman?
Well, for many reasons. I mean, he was a brilliant scientist. He liked to play. He liked to discover things for himself, but he also was a great educator and his enthusiasm for science, I think in a way, my modeling of the way I discuss things, I like to think, I think has been affected by him, but the unpretentious nature of it, he had a Brooklyn accent, well, not a Brooklyn, it was Long Island accent, but you can't listen to him and not be excited. Yeah. And to have met him too was just you couldn't be. But what he was famous for, which I wrote a book. One of my books is about a scientific biography of Feynman, which is a labor of love that I wrote. And but he insisted upon rediscovering everything for himself, which was a failing as well as a strength. It meant he had an incredible ability to attack new problems, but he also wasted a lot of time as a former friend and mentor of mine, he's now dead, Sidney Coleman at Harvard, once said, he told Feynman, the other guys aren't all bozos, I mean, they actually, you can benefit from having learned what they were talking about. But Feynman was big on that, and being inventive, and loving to explain things and loving to learn. And the excitement about learning is, for me, that's what's infectious. And hopefully, if I pass other things on, that's one of the things.
And so you break the book down into 5 sections where you kind of go into these concepts of time, space, matter, life, and consciousness. Very interesting. That's when you could go into AI at the end.
Yeah.
But, I would love to cover some of those things. I mean, again, what's always amazing to me, Lawrence, is that the average person finds this stuff fascinating.
Well, but why is that amazing? Because you know what? I realized when I was writing the book, I want to talk about the ideas at the forefront of science. But they're the same ideas that all of us have, the same questions all of us has. Are we alone in the universe? What does it mean to think? When I see green, is the same green you see? How did life originate? How did the universe begin? How will it end? These are the questions we all have. We give them up, but we all have those questions. So it's not so fascinating. It's not so surprising that questions at the edge of science fascinate people, because they're always the kind of unknown threshold that provokes us when we're kids, when we look up at the sky at night.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim, watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. Hey, do you want to profit from crypto? Then join my DeFi Academy. The Crypto DeFi Academy will help you create generational wealth. But don't take my word for it. Listen to my students.
When I first got into crypto, I remember thinking to myself, I need to learn more. Brian Rose, learning crypto, learning DeFi, gotta do it.
I am so grateful that I jumped in and did this. I had to break through some limiting beliefs that I can do this, that I can afford this, that I can be in this.
It challenges the things that are deeply rooted within us.
Joining DeFi Academy has been one of the best decisions I have made on my blockchain journey.
This course was a life changer, a game changer, a huge eye-opener, coming from knowing practically nothing at the speed of the learning over 4 weeks was just fantastic.
The information you provided in this class was invaluable.
I feel far more confident in my next steps.
You took complex concepts and made them easier to understand.
What's different than so many other ones is it just doesn't tell you what to do. It actually makes you do it.
This is for people who are serious about becoming traders. This is the way it should be done.
I realized from this learning experience again that it is not about what you learn, but about who you learn it from.
The energy was insane. I've never experienced such incredible energy on a live call. Brian Rose, you are a legend, my friend.
It's the only thing in the market where you can get all information and learn everything what you need to know.
Everything is so clear and so well done, and I'm just forever grateful for this program.
It made me feel so much more confident about crypto than I did before.
I did not anticipate how passionate I was going to become about it.
It's also been like a big learning experience for me, not just in the crypto space, but just in overall balance of life.
What I've learned is, how to take ownership, of my life in a way that I really hadn't before.
Yeah, you can't put a price on that, really.
I would recommend it to anybody, top notch.
Excellence does not come cheap. So if you want excellence, you got to pay for it, but it's so worth it.
Pull the trigger. That's what this course is about.
You're not going to regret it, really. It's amazing.
Thank you, Brian and team.
So what are you waiting for? Crypto is happening now. Click the link below, submit your application, and let me mentor you on how to create generational wealth and build the decentralized financial infrastructure of the future.